Have you ever tried to change a habit and failed? You make a plan. You feel motivated. You start strong. But then something happens. You slip. You stop. You go back. And it feels like nothing ever really changed. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. But here's the truth. The problem isn't you. The problem is how most people try to change. Real change doesn't come from more willpower. It comes from understanding how habits really work. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Over a century ago, a psychologist named William James said something powerful. Our life, so far as it has a definite form, is but a mass of habits. In other words, who we are, how we live, how we think, how we react, is shaped by the small things we do every single day. If you want to change your life, you have to change your habits. And to do that, you have to understand how they're built. The habit loop. Let's break it down. Every habit follows a pattern. Psychologists call it the habit loop. It has 3 parts. Cue. Something triggers your brain. Routine. The behavior or action you perform. Reward. The feeling you get that makes your brain want to do it again. William James was one of the first to observe this loop, even before it had a name. He noticed that once a habit is formed, the brain stops making decisions. The behavior becomes automatic. This is why habits are so powerful. They don't rely on motivation. They run on autopilot. Why most people fail to change. Here's the mistake most people make. They try to break a habit by fighting the behavior directly, but they ignore the cue and the reward. Let's say you're trying to stop checking your phone late at night. The cue might be boredom. The routine is scrolling through social media. The reward is distraction or a dopamine hit. If you just try to stop scrolling, you're fighting the symptom, not the system. To truly change the habit, you need to replace the routine with something that gives you a similar reward, like reading something enjoyable or doing a 5-minute breathing exercise, something that still gives your brain what it craves, but in a new way. What William James taught us. William James believed that habits are neural pathways. They get stronger the more we walk them. But he also believed they can be changed through deliberate repetition. He said, the more of the details of the act fixed in advance, the more likely its performance will become automatic. That means set a time, set a place, make it easy, repeat it consistently. The brain loves repetition, and repetition builds identity. If you brush your teeth every night, your brain says, I'm a person who takes care of myself. If you write every morning, your brain says, I'm a writer. If you go for a walk daily, your brain says, I'm someone who moves. The more you act like the person you want to become, the more you become that person. Make change stick. So, how do you make change stick? Here's what the psychology of habit and William James would suggest. Start small. 1 habit at a time. Attach it to a cue. Same time, same place, same signal. Make the reward obvious. Your brain needs to enjoy it. Repeat it daily. Repetition builds the neural path. Believe it matters, because it does. And most importantly, forgive yourself when you slip. That's part of the process. James believed that character is built not in perfect control, but in persistence. Final thought. You don't need to change your whole life overnight. You just need to change the system that shapes your choices. 1 habit at a time. 1 cue at a time. 1 new identity at a time. William James believed that we are not prisoners of our past, but architects of our future, if we understand the tools of the mind. So next time you think, I just need more discipline, remember this. You don't need more force. You need more understanding. Because when you change your habits, you don't just change what you do. You change who you are.